So this is going to be the April 2020 edition of what I've been writing with. These are the pens that I've been using lately, not the best pens, not pens I would recommend, just what I've been writing with. Like a lot of people, I've found that access to pens and new stuff has been limited over the past few weeks, but I have access to a few pens and these are what I've been using. So we'll kind of start slow and get to the more exciting stuff down the road. First up, I've been using this pen a lot. This is the Pilot Multi-Ball. It's a 1.0 millimeter roller ball. It's kind of like a liquid roller ball, has a really nice flow to it. This was an Amazon Japan import. It's a pretty affordable pen. It's 100 yen price, so $1-ish price tag. You can clearly see it's a Japanese import based on the writing there. And it's just a really simple liquid roller ball. Basically any Pilot, or I guess basically any 1.0 millimeter roller ball I will buy just to try. And I have lots of them, and I tend to really like some, and then I move on to something else that I really like. Lately I've been really enjoying this one. This is just a great everyday 1.0 millimeter roller ball, and it's just a nice writer. Not super smooth, and it doesn't lay down a huge amount of ink. Just a nice writer. It's kind of like a Pilot Hi-Tech V10. It's a pretty similar pen to that, but actually I like how it writes a little bit better than, maybe not than the V10, but than most 1.0 millimeters. Again, so this is the multi-ball. Pilot also makes one called the V-Ball, which I don't like as much as this. So if you're choosing between those two, the multi-ball I think is the better one. It has a really nice kind of rubbery grip to it that I think works really well. It's not refillable. It just seems like it's sealed in here, and I've tried to open it up, and this one will not open. I'm afraid I'm going to break it or mess up the grip, which would be a shame because I only bought one of these. I think it was maybe $1 or $2 from Amazon Japan, so I just added it to my last order. So let's move on. This is I will say this is a pen I would recommend if you could find them. It's a pretty cool pen. I think it's a really good looking pen too, but nice addition. I've been enjoying using it. Next, I've been using this pen a lot. This is a Pentel B100. So this is sort of a classic Pentel. I think it's the design that they've been making since, I want to say, the mid 60s. It definitely has that sort of old school look to it. 0.6 millimeter tip, which is kind of odd. Model is called the B100, but usually called the ball pen, Pentel ball. And I'm not even sure what tip it has. Some people say it's a fiber tip. Other people say it's a roller ball, but it's that sort of like plasticky end there. And I think the ball might even be plastic. It's not fiber. I can tell you that. There is some sort of ball in there, but this is a really nice writer. Very old school feel, as you might expect. It's the Pentel B100, and it's sort of a fickle pen. At some angles, it lays down just a real lot of ink, like way more than you would imagine from a 0.6 millimeter. But if you go straight up and down, you get a very standard, refined rollerball type line. Just a fun writer. And I don't know, I like exploring these really old school pens. Usually something that has stuck around for 50 plus years has something valuable to offer. So, and these are about maybe $1.50 to $2. They're very affordable if you could find them. Again, 100 yen price. But you don't see them that much in the US. You could find them online, but you have to hunt it down. It's not going to get shown like a suggestion or a new and trending stationary item. It's just not something that's going to pop up there. That's the Pentel B100. Next up is this pen. This I did a video on recently. This is called the Uniball 1. This is a Japanese import pigmented ink gel pen. So it's kind of more aimed at, I would say, like artistic uses, because pigmented ink is water resistant, and this pen is sold in, I think, 32 different colors. I bought it in a pack of 8. I did a review on this pen just a few days ago. So check that out. I've been using it mostly in this blue because I bought it in a 0.5 millimeter. This is called the 1. I bought it in the 0.5 millimeter, which I like. The 0.3 millimeter is probably the better size to get, but I tend to go a little bit wider with my writing tips. So this is a nice pen. I really like the construction quality. It's a nice textured plastic here, rubber grip here, so you could barely even tell the difference, but it is a really comfortable grip. It's a nice, maybe a little bit wider than you expect, which I find to be comfortable, and has this really great wire steel clip. It's a really nice clip. I don't even use clips that much, but this one is really well built, really cool looking, and it's fun to play with. So I bought an 8-pack of these Uniball ones that I like a lot. It's probably not a pen I would use normally all the time because I don't need a whole bunch of different colors. And I tend to, if I need a cheap standard gel pen, I tend to have a lot lying around, particularly the Mujis I tend to buy all the time. So I wouldn't say this is a need for anyone, but it's definitely a good pen, especially for people that like journaling or people that want to do art and they will use that pigmented ink. Next up is kind of the old school Jetstream. I believe this one is called the Jetstream Sport, but the model is the SXN-150-10. So it's 1.0 millimeter. And I've come to the conclusion that this Jetstream, the cheapest of all Jetstreams, is probably my favorite Uniball Jetstream. I just like the kind of contoured sneaker grip. I think it's a cool looking pen. I like the white and blue to smoke to black. It's just a really good looking pen. And this is not even a pen design you see so much. There's so many Jetstreams that this one, even though it's, I don't know if it's the original or one of the original, but to me, this is sort of the quintessential Jetstream, and it's one of the least frequently seen these days. There's like so many special editions that you don't even see the standard one anymore. Even like it has this really cool cutout where the underpiece is shown. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't move, but you get that little cutout. Just a really, really well done pen. And the best part, which I'm just getting to now, is the Jetstream 1.0 millimeter refill. This is a refill I don't use that much, but when I do use it, I remember it's just a phenomenal refill. So this is the Jetstream 1.0 millimeter. It's just really smooth. It combines the best features of a ballpoint and a hybrid. I mean, it is a hybrid, but yeah, the best features of a kind of a ballpoint and a rollerball ink. It just really, really smooth, goes down in anything, quick drying, and it's one of those pens where, you know, if you are going to be quarantined, and you're not going to have access to a lot of pens, this is definitely one that I would pick. And I did. So there you go. As far as the last two, we have fountain pens. This is the Tombow Zoom 101. I did a full review on this pen maybe 2 weeks ago, and it is a really nice fountain pen, carbon fiber. So it's real carbon fiber body, machined aluminum for these cap pieces, spring loaded. I want to say the clip is aluminum as well. And then just really beautifully designed fountain pen. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone likes carbon fiber. The pen is made to be especially light. It's something like, I think, 14 grams. It's one of the lightest high-end fountain pens that you could buy. And I know it's not for everyone, but I really do like it. I've been using it a whole lot. So if you wanted to learn more about this really cool pen, you can go back and check out my full review. Again, it was about 2 weeks ago, and this is called the Tombow Zoom 101. It's pretty easy to find because there's not too many true carbon fiber fountain pens out there. Zoom 101. Just a super cool pen. Not very rare, but pretty rare, and I think definitely underappreciated. But not everyone likes sort of racy type designs, like race inspired designs, not racy designs, but I really do think it's quite cool. Lastly is the pen probably a lot of people have been wondering about or have waited this long to see. This is called the Platinum Curidas or Curidas. The name isn't really clear to me. This is Platinum's retractable fountain pen. So it's sort of Platinum's take on the Lamy Dialogue 3, which I would say would be the most famous of the retractable fountain pens. The Pilot Vanishing Point or the Lamy Dialogue 3. It kind of, from a shape standpoint, it looks more like a Dialogue 3 to me, but functionally it has a push button where the Lamy has a twist. So maybe it is more like the Vanishing Point. So I'll do a full review on this in the coming days. I've sort of held back because I wanted to really give it enough time. This is probably one of the more highly awaited, if not the most highly awaited Japanese fountain pen of 2020, at least from what I've seen. But I've been using this pen a lot. I bought it in this sort of green, which I really like, and then I accidentally bought it in a fine instead of a medium, which has really hurt my enjoyment of the pen. This pen is it's a dry writer, and the fine is a small fine. So I tend to like Platinum's medium a lot because it's a big wet medium, whereas this fine is a small dry fine. So I've had to tweak the nib a little bit, which I don't like doing on a brand new pen, but especially when it cost $80, this was not a cheap pen. It may look like a Preppy, but it is not priced like a Preppy. I would say check back for the full review, but sneak preview is I really don't love this pen. I do not recommend it. It is it's just like oversized. Insides to me seem overly complex and not particularly well built. The nib is small and rather fickle. It's not interchangeable with Platinum's standard nibs that I can tell. The Preppy and the Pre-Fount and the Plaisir nib seems a little bit wider than this. I haven't swapped it, so I don't have access to all my pens right now, but it does seem like a smaller nib. And to me, it just hasn't been writing that well. That's why I've had to take it upon myself to start tweaking it. The button has a super long throw, as you could tell, and the button has a lot of resistance. It's easy to push right here to here, and then you hit basically the actuation point for I guess it's not technically the actuation point. It's like the door hits, then you push and push, and there's a lot of pressure, and then right there at the bottom, it actuates. So it's just like a really long throw with a lot of increasing pressure, and finally it hits, and then this piece just sort of flops around a little bit, which is just like it could have done better than that with an $80 pen. I'll do a full review, but I think generally speaking, people are not going to be loving this Curidas this year, which is a little bit disappointing since Platinum has been releasing such good pens lately. It's such a great company, and I think a lot of people are waiting for this pen since probably like the end of maybe like Thanksgiving of last year, and now 6 months later, plus delays with all the coronavirus stuff has caused some slowdowns. So now the pens are finally arriving, and just not. I just think it's just not what people thought it could be. So this is the Platinum Curidas. Definitely a dry writer. I would recommend lefties go ahead and get the medium. So these are the pens I've been using. Obviously, been not ideal times lately, and access to new pens has been limited for everyone, but I was really happy to have these handy. Out of the group, I would say definitely pick yourself up a Jetstream 1.0 millimeter. Such a great pen. The multi-ball is pretty cool, but really not worth tracking down since Pilot has so many great 1.0 millimeters. The best is probably the the V10 with the grip, and then obviously, or maybe not obvious, but I would definitely recommend everyone checks out the Pentel Ball B100, just a really cool classic pen that you can get in person for under $2, but if you buy it online, maybe a little bit more, like $1.50 plus shipping, or you could buy it in 4 or 12 packs for relatively cheap. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.